Found. Lin Chung meditates that no mistakes should be made. Found. Lin Chung meditates that no mistakes should be made. Found. Lin Chung meditates that no mistakes should be made.
Some advice. If the victim decides to confront the gangs controlling the brain in Iraq and the leader, Satan, who made himself a prophet or the voice of God in Iraq, first, he must know that there is nothing within this entire organization. He has nothing in it, no followers, no money or property. So, nothing deserves to be regretted. Or reprimand or blame himself and think that he is weak or incompetent. Or afraid. Or he is a cowardly person who left something important and decided to escape, leave it or give it up to someone else. This does not exist. The victim is just a victim of slavery only in the midst of this gang. He is not one of them and does not work with them or recognize their laws and does not receive any salary from them. Of course, I also advise every victim who hears these words to take a step before it begins, and it is a test of the sincerity of my words. All of us, we know that money is an important thing. It is the only test that reveals a lot of facts. That is why the victim must ask them for $20 million in order to see for himself that it is nothing. Rather, he is just an idiot who has fallen into the midst of terrorist gangs and thieves who are only laughing at him, and they have nothing to do with God at all, and they are not a holy organization. Of course, none of them will give him anything. They may give him some food as if they have a donkey, or some old clothes, or a place to live, and some simple money that is not enough to buy him a new shirt. Also, they may play a game that they want him to work for, but even if he does this as a result, they will not give him anything either, except what I said. I mean some food, scraps, old clothes and a place of residence only, and it remains just a donkey for them. So the first step is important from the psychological aspect. It is for the victim to know that he is nothing and he has fallen into a dark abyss and he must rid himself of it. I mean, no one regrets that he came out of a sewage or from a dirty place or escaped from.
Hey. Hey!
I thought you were dead.
A couple of seconds I would have been.
All I remember is stepping out of the van, then I woke up in the fucking gutter.
What the hell are you doing here?
What are you talking about? I've been looking for you all night. What the hell happened to you? Hey!
I can't trust you.
All right, look. I don't know how much you had to drink, okay? But let's not point the gun at me.
I just need to know
You need to know what?
that you are you.
Of course I'm me. What the hell are you talking about?
You took his body.
All right. You're ill, okay? You need some help, all right? Ah, fuck! Jesus!
You're bleeding.
Of course I'm bleeding. You fucking shot me.
I just needed to find out.
Well, you found out, okay?
Stop being such a pussy.
Pussy, come on.
It's just a scratch.
He has to know that he was just a scarecrow with birds, a candlestick for mistakes, a knight without a mayor, or an emperor who does not have any power or money, nor does anyone take a word from him, but he only bears responsibility for what the gang members do. He should also distrust all the members of this organization, which takes the Church of the Bible in Iraq as a cover for it. Not trusting them is very important, no matter who they are. He should also beware of one of the most important lies of these people, which is that they are an organization that has been divided into two halves, and half of it is with the victim or his followers, or they are his team. This lie, as I noticed that there are many victims who fell into it. The result was disaster and loss for them. Because they believed that they had followers and tried to confront the gang or the other half. The result has always been that these victims will discover that they have become just a football between the feet of these two halves. Or these two halves unite against them. Or they act as if they were someone leading an army. They kept giving orders that no one would implement. These tricks are used by this organization to drag or lure the victim into a gang war while he does not have any gang with him and becomes like someone who participates in a car race and he does not have a car. So it is better to confront the gang with what is in the victim's hand only, or with logic and realism only. The victim must also know that the lie of the invisible guard is one of the tricks of these gangs. And the victim does not have any hidden guard or secretary. Rather, the victim is just a column on which a spy device has been placed. Also on the victim, as I said, is absolutely wary of all the elements of these gangs. Even those who smile at him. These people have been ordered to do this. And when different orders come to them, they will do the opposite, and even kill the victim, so he must beware of any of them giving him anything. He must think why that person gave him this thing. What is the reason? Of course, unfortunately, all the victims are almost very poor, they do not have any money. That is why they lose. Because the gang has almost one method, which is to make the victim's family or family with that gang. They also make the victims friends with them. Here the victim will resort to asking for help from these people. Here he falls into a trap and becomes like a rat inside a glass bottle. Of course, whoever hands the victim will be his family and friends, and they are the ones who weaken the victim and eliminate every financial source it has. Rather, the victim will become a slave to his family and friends.
Cao Chu is not what he must seem to you, sir, your loyal servant. In fact, we have come to believe he may be plotting your death.
Still, you know how it is. You can't always wait to knock on doors. It's an emergency, difficult times. Any complaints, you know what to do about it. Whatever you are, Cao Chu makes the rules, Your Majesty.
Now I see.
Lin Chung, you heard that? Cao Chu has only just shown me his true face. How thoughtless and foolish I've been, even though I was warned.
أطلق قوات يوفو المحاربة. وفروا غطاء لجولي ودمروا جراندايزر.
هذه فرصتنا يا قائد جندان.
تقدموا. لم آمرك بالتقدم أيها القائد جندال. عد إلى حيث كنت. نفذوا أوامري أو تعاقبوا. سأنزلكم إلى رتبة جنود. اسكت.
Of course, there is a way that the victim can transform from a slave of this organization to a person who is a real manager, if he can get rid of this spy who looks like a strange old man, this spy who plays the role of being the victim's secretary or agent. That is, if the victim was able to crush him, end his life, or replace him with people from the United States of America, the State of Israel, or Europe and theirs. The victim will become a real king and all this organization will become his rule. He can control it and give orders, but unfortunately none of the victims could do this because this spy is a despicable demon, a fraudulent thief who uses the name of the victim and claims to be the secretary of the victim while he is lying, and he does what he wants. The victim also has to warn of the lying of the two halves, of a competition between adults and children, or between adults and homosexuals. This unclean model is just a lie, both of them are one. They are one organization or one family, and they are trying to deceive the victim and drag him among them in order to trample on the head of both of them. For example, they make a person represent the adults while his son becomes the representative of the young. Look, both of them are one family. One law and one record bring them together.
Will you please?
In the struggle for liberation, there's no room for mistakes.
Back to the cooling chamber. Now!
Orders? I'm giving the orders from now on. We have a mission to complete. Any questions?